If you're looking to get into home recording and you already have a computer, you can add a few ancillary bits and pieces to the outside of it, mics, audio interfaces, speakers, all of that sort of stuff, and really get going with it. Now, of course, you don't have to break the bank doing this. You know, you can look online and think, oh, it's £1,000 for this. Don't worry about it, because actually you can get started with very few bits of kit. And of course, you can upgrade as you see fit. Now, one thing that is common to all of these audio interfaces, mics and speakers are the connectors you use. So you're going to need a few wires, a few cables. Never ever scrimp on the cables, because actually loose connections just make you not want to use it. So a jack to jack lead, which is this, that connects the audio interface to your speakers. Or it can connect a guitar up to the input of the audio interface. They're standard size, they're 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeters, and you can buy them in any length from any music store. The other one that you need goes from your microphone into your audio interface, and that's this. It's an XLR lead. So you've got a female end which goes into your mic, and the male end goes into your audio interface. So what I'm going to show you now is a diagram of basically how this works and a sort of an example of a shopping list that you might use. Let's have a look. First bit of kit you've got then is of course your computer. Now don't worry if it's Mac or PC, all of this works with both, and actually there's free software available with both platforms. With Apple computers it comes with GarageBand, which is a great bit of recording software. You can do loads with it. However, if you've got a PC you can do the same thing with Audacity, which you can download as a free bit of software. It's a kind of open source. Now the first thing you'd need then is a piece of hardware, which is this, the audio interface. Some people call this a sound card, but it's essentially something that allows you to connect stuff to your computer. However, it needs to talk via a USB lead. Now, if you don't have a USB lead or the audio interface doesn't come with one, which is actually quite unlikely, you can buy this. So you've got standard USB one end, which goes into your computer, and then a more square, sort of rounded off at two of the corners USB, which goes into your audio interface. So that would be kind of like that. Another USB piece of kit that you can use with a computer with recording is a keyboard. Now that will also be connected with a USB lead like that. Excuse the crude nature of this diagram, but actually I think it's better to think in these terms rather than just go, oh, I need this piece of kit, this piece of kit, this piece of kit. There is a shopping list that I've included at the end of this demonstration of some example things that you can buy. Now, the audio interface really is the sort of the hub of all of this, because the remainder of the things that I'm going to show you are the analog things, the things that you plug in like speakers and mics and cables and all of that. So first of all, you need your monitors, 2 speakers. So let's put them each side of your computer. So you've got your computer on the desk and you've got your monitors each side. The audio interface then sends its signals to the monitors via the jack leads. And I showed you the jack lead in the introduction. So you've got one jack lead here that goes to one speaker like that, and one jack lead that goes to the other. Don't worry too much about lead length, but you really want the shortest lead for the job in hand, really. You don't want lots of coils of cable everywhere because you can get interference and other problems. But short leads, fine. Now, if you're recording anything vocals or any acoustic guitars or any orchestral instrument or anything at all, you're going to need a microphone. Now, a microphone, usually you're better off with a condenser mic. If you've just got one mic in your studio, you need that sort of thing. Again, there's something on the shopping list that comes pretty recommended. It's a really good mic, especially sort of good for starting out. And actually, you can add anything. That's the thing. You can upgrade any of this at any time. The microphone, as I stated earlier, is connected with the XLR lead, where you have the female end that goes into the mic and the male end that goes into the audio interface. So the audio interface has inputs and outputs. The outputs go to your speakers and the inputs are what you connect things that you like your microphone up to. You may also have a guitar or any other instrument that has a jack plug on it. Now this could be a keyboard, it could be anything, a guitar, a bass guitar, and that is connected via your jack lead to the input of your audio interface. Now when you're doing any recording at all, with the microphone, you're going to need to switch the speakers off, or just switch them off at the back, or turn the volume control down on the front, because otherwise you're going to get feedback. So that means you need your pair of headphones, which usually have a captive lead on the headphones that plugs into the audio interface. Beware, you may need one of these. So if you've got a pair of headphones with a small connector, you're going to need to turn it into a larger jack plug. Now notice this jack plug has 2 bands on it rather than 1. The 2 bands for the headphones are left, right, and the earth cable. So you're going to need to make sure that your headphones have this on them. Basically, they all do. Don't use Bluetooth headphones with anything, because actually the delay that is inherent in any of the Bluetooth headphones actually means that you can't record really at all, because you'll just be out of time. So there is a diagram of basically what happens in any sort of small project studio, and you could also liken this to a professional studio, but there would be more inputs and outputs of your audio interface, because if you want to record a band where you need maybe 8 or 10 or 16 microphones, each of those microphones is going to have its own connector on the front of the audio interface. So you can spend more money on things like this, but if you just want to get going, record your music as a solo artist, this is what you need. And here's the shopping list.